go over these, the free response questions. There were 4 of those. If you weren't in class to get those, I have attached them to the homework assignment. So I've attached each year. You may have to scroll down to get to the actual number of the problem. But these 4 should be pretty easily done. I don't want you to think the free response portion of the AP exam is easy, because it's not, but these are some easier ones, and these pertain mostly to Chapter 3 and before. So when we do these free response questions, they are probably one of the more important things we do, because they do relate to your exam, and you'll see these, and they have been on the exam before. So in 2000, question number 3, the way to approach this one is to do a double bar graph. And what I mean by a double bar graph, if I show you here, double bar graph there would be you put the middle-aged men and the younger men, and that's kind of how you start that. So your x-axis would be the 10 different flexibilities, and then middle-aged and young men would be right beside each other on each one. You may want to shade one in and the other not, but you need to make a key on which is which. But that would be your 2000, and then you're just going to compare how your graph looks. 2001, number 1, what you're looking for there, it gives you the min, Q1, median, Q3, and max, which is most of the things you need. It also gives you the mean and some other stuff. For the outliers part, you just need to do Q3 minus Q1 times 1.5, and then you take that number, you add it to Q3, that's your top, that's the highest you can get before you become an outlier, and you take that number and you subtract it, the number you got beginning, and subtract it from Q1, and that's the lowest you can be. If you're any lower than that, you're an outlier. So then tell which ones are outliers, and again, it wants you to describe what you did. So in words, describe how you did the formula, and show all your work for that formula. Then it wants to know, is 10 inches a low amount, and it wants you to explain it based on the data. Now, you can explain it based on using the 5-number summary, or you can explain it by saying how far below the mean it is, or how many standard deviations below the mean it is. All those things I think you should use to get this problem exactly correct, but they want to know exactly how low is 10 inches compared to the rest of the years. In 2002, number 4, again, your prediction equation is y hat equals a plus bx. The a, if you go to constant in that little computer printout, you look at constant and you look at the coefficient, because the a is a constant, meaning it's by itself. If you look for b in that problem, you look in the computer printout, you look for seats coefficient, and that's your b, because b is the slope which comes in front of the x, which is seats, it says. Now in part B, it asks what is the R value and what does that mean. So not only do you have to give the R value from the printout, but explain what that means, and how good is it, what kind of correlation do we have between them. Make sure to use all your words for that. Then it asks to define the variables, meaning what is x and what is y in the problem. If you look at the graph above, you can tell on that as well. And then part C wants you to only look from 250 to 350 on the x-axis. So take from 250 to 350 on the x-axis, and that's the only part you want to look at. Ignore the rest of the data and tell, is there a linear pattern in that part or not, and why, and explain your reasons for that. Then we go to 2013, number 1. An easy way to get this would be put all these numbers in L1. Remember, 2 with the stem and 8 with the leaf is 2.8. But if you there are 23 numbers there. If you put them all in L1 and you sort it, so you can say sort A and sort list 1, then you can easily go down and see how many numbers are higher than 6.0. You don't necessarily have to put them in L1, but you need to be able to tell how many numbers are higher than 6.0. And then for part B, you want to draw the normal curve, because it asks for 95%. And it gives you the mean and the standard deviation, so that's a hint that you want to draw the normal curve whenever they give you the mean and standard deviation. So you draw a normal curve, you need to label the mean, you need to label all your standard deviations, and then you need to show between what 2 numbers is 95%. And if you remember, 95% is between 2 standard deviations to the left and 2 standard deviations to the right. But if you write all your percentages in the curve and you tell what numbers it is between, then you've shown everything for that problem. So that took us back into chapter 2 on the normal distribution. So that takes care of all your free response questions, and that was day 1, your first night's homework. I'll be back with another video on for day 2, which is questions 6, 11, and 16 in chapter 4, which is modeling nonlinear data, and that's what we're going to look at next. But make sure you do the free response questions. Even if you didn't get them, you need to do them on notebook paper, and I have copies of the questions posted for your homework assignments. And if you did forget the online quiz, make sure to do that today and to get it done, so I can grade those, and I'll be putting grades in through these next days. And enjoy your days off, because that's what I'm going to do also. Alright.